Okay. The City of Plymouth City Council meeting for Thursday, December 14th, 2023 is now called to order. In-person participation by the public is permitted. Members of the public not attending in person may submit written comments prior to the meeting by emailing your comment to the Deputy City Clerk at bmchenry@cityofplymouth.org before 3:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Emailed public comments will be distributed to the City Council and made part of the official record. This meeting is being recorded. Council chambers are wheelchair accessible. Special accommodations may be requested by contacting the City Clerk 72 hours in advance of the meeting. At this time, we ask you to silence all cell phones or similar devices. Could we please have a roll call? Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember McLaughlin?
Here.
Councilmember Amoruso?
Here.
Vice Mayor Sim?
Here.
Mayor Ackerman? Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Right.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 2, approval of the City Council regular meeting agenda for tonight, December 14th, 2023. And I would like to request that we take item 5.4 from the consent calendar and agendaize that.
You can, so just so you know, the best place to do that is you get the consent calendar and you pull it. Right now, you just approve the agenda overall. And you get there.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Can we please have a roll call vote? Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember McLaughlin?
Aye.
Councilmember Amoruso?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Sim?
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman? Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Thank you. Number 3, public comment under provisions of the California Code. Citizens wishing to address this council for any matter not on the agenda may do so at this time. We ask that you can complete a speaker submittal form, submit to the Deputy City Clerk, or follow the instructions noted on this agenda. Speakers will be called by the mayor at a point on the agenda when the item will be heard. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments to 3 minutes or less and to state their name and community of residence. Under provisions of the California Government Code, the City Council is prohibited from materially discussing or taking action on any item not on the agenda unless it can be demonstrated to be of an emergency nature or an urgent need to take immediate action arose after the posting of the agenda. And do we have public comment now? Mr. Weiss.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, I'm Jim Wise from the City of Plymouth, and I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the Veterans Park Committee. I'd like to point out that the vice chair of the committee, Josh Colbert, is serving that as well. The reason I'm hoping to address the council tonight is to provide a quick update that our committee is moving forward, I think, with great speed to begin the engraving process for the names of all men and women from the District 5 Supervisorial District onto the granite slabs. What we would like to do is to minimize the potential that we are missing names or that we are misspelling names or that there's individuals that perhaps we've identified as eligible to be included on the memorials that maybe should not. But the biggest thing that we can do is to get these names out there in the community with the greatest transparency and information as we can. So by this weekend, we will be publishing a list of 500 plus names on our Veterans Park website of the individuals that we have vetted thus far, who will be included on the memorials that will be in the park. It is our hope that the community would take a look at those names and help us out either with adding names or correcting any mistakes and misspellings that we may have made. And as a reminder, eligibility to be included for this is that any man or woman serving in the United States military with an honorable discharge from District 5 of the Amador County Supervisorial District, and those would include obviously Plymouth, Fiddletown, Shenandoah Valley, Dry-Town, River Pines. The website will be the www.d5, numeral 5, vetspark.org. It is our intent, and I'm hoping that we can work with the city of Plymouth and maybe have a link on the city of Plymouth's website back over to our site so we can maximize the number of eyes that can go over that list. And the worst thing we want to do is to get this wrong. We can always add names and contractual relationship that we have with the company that is doing the engraving calls for them to add names as more men and women from our area serve in the future. We can always add names. We just want to make sure that we get this as right as we can be at the outset. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is there any other public comment here tonight? Have we received any written public comment on anything? No. Okay. So I'll go ahead and close this to public comment for tonight. Item number 4, presentations, proclamations, appointments. Item 4.1, council reorganization, selection of mayor and vice mayor. Will you please have a staff report?
This is the annual reorganization of the mayor and vice mayor for the upcoming year. And the deputy city clerk will run the process for the mayor. And how that will work is the mayor will turn the meeting over to the deputy city clerk. She'll open up the floor for nominations. It's not a what is it? It's not a motion. It's not a move to that. It's just a nomination. It doesn't need a second. And then somebody else can nominate someone if they choose to do so. And if there's only one person nominated, do a roll call vote. And that person needs to get 3 votes to be the mayor. If there's more than one person nominated, you take the first person nominated, you vote on the first person. If that person gets 3 votes, the voting is done, that person is the mayor. If that person does not get 3 votes, then you vote on the second person. And if that person gets 3 votes, it's done. If that person does not get 3 votes, then you start over and you go back to the first person and we try again. And the deputy city clerk will run that process. When that process is over, the deputy city clerk will announce who the winner is and then turn the floor over to the new mayor, who will take their seat at the mayor's spot, and they will run the process for the vice mayor in the exact same form. Are there any questions? Yes, vice mayor.
Does the nomination require a second?
It does not.
No.
It does not.
Good.
Are there any other questions?
Public comment.
There is there is public comment, you have to take public comment on the item, you can take public comment now before you turn it over to the deputy city clerk. Or that would be my recommendation, would be for Mayor Ackerman to ask for public comment now before nominations. And then after you take the public comment, close that public comment, and then turn it over to the deputy city clerk to run the process.
I'll open this to public comment. Is there any public comment on item 4.1, selection of the mayor and vice mayor? Okay, we'll close this to public comment, and I will turn this over to our deputy city clerk. Nominations for mayor are now open. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Mary Ann Epperland.
I'd like to nominate Keith Blank.
Are there any further nominations? Seeing that nominations are now closed. We will now vote on the nominations. Roll call vote for Mayor Ackerman. Councilmember Amoruso. Councilmember McLaughlin.
No.
Councilmember White.
Well, that puts me in a sticky situation. Nay.
Vice Mayor Sen.
I don't know what you said. Yeah, yeah,
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman. Aye. There are 3 votes for Mayor Ackerman.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So she's been selected as mayor for next year, and I will now turn the meeting over to our reappointed mayor, Mayor Ackerman. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Proud to serve. Now we will do the same thing for the vice mayor. And I'll open it for public comment again. Any public comment?
And I wanted to say one thing on behalf of the very grateful community, all 5 of you for serving publicly. This is not easy, subject to slings and arrows, and for our whole community, thank you all for doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Any other public comment? Okay. Nominations for vice mayor, and I'd like to nominate Councilmember McLaughlin. Any other nominations? Victoria, will you take a vote now? Yeah. Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Roll call vote for Councilmember McLaughlin. Councilmember White.
Yes.
Councilmember McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilmember Amoruso.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sim.
Yes.
Mayor Ackerman.
Yes.
Thank you. Nomination passes.
Thank you, everyone. I think. Yeah.
Item 4.2, appointment to the planning commission by Councilmember Amoruso. Okay, and I think first we'll get a staff report. Do we need a staff report? Yeah, I think you're ready. I'm ready to go. Okay, it's all yours.
I want to invite Gary up. He's my commissioner. Gary, come up to the podium and introduce yourself to council. Please.
Hello, my name is Gary Eason. I live in Hobbs-View. Lived here 4 years. And I would be honored to be, nominated. Okay. Appointed. Your point is, oh, wow. Thank you.
We get sworn in, next week.
Next meeting.
Whatever that is.
Thank you.
Planning commission.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Gary, I just want to say it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last few years. And when I saw you sitting there and then I put two and two together, I told Peter I made a wonderful choice. So thank you for.
I know everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So far. Item 5, the consent calendar items. I jumped it down earlier. I would like to take.
Madam Mayor, can we take 5.4 and move it to, I don't know, the first thing.
7.1.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, on the consent calendar, we have correspondence. 5.2, approve the special meeting minutes of November 15th, 2023. 5.3, approve the special meeting minutes of December 5th, 2023. Item 5.5, which is now 5.4, change in the contract award to LGM Construction Roofing of the city buildings from $23,745 to $23,859 and decrease the number of roofs from 4 to 3. And I'd like to open this to public comment. Is there any public comment on the consent calendar items? No public comment. I'll close public comment. Any staff discussion? Otherwise, would somebody like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar? Yes.
In the packet, Margaret said that the tiles went very off part of the plant, off the roof, cost wise. That's correct. Would there be any other materials suggested in lieu of the tiles? Well, first of all, are the tiles leaking? Is it the problem with tiles on the roof of the gazebo?
That's the problem.
They're
Yeah.
leaking.
Yes.
And obviously the replacement of those same tiles became very expensive.
Yes.
Did they suggest any other type of material
The problem is
other than doing nothing?
they would have to redo the whole roof and they were only going to replace the tiles at the top instead of the entire roof.
So they took the cost of I would presume their first bid had the tiles in it before they went crazy on the price, right?
Yes.
So they took those tiles out of the bid, and yet the bid only went down $177. It seems like not very much if they removed all those tiles and said, well, we're not gonna replace them. We're not gonna do that. And the whole bid only came down $175 or $77. Not very much.
They did not do the
Other things went up in cost.
other things also went up in cost and they did not.
I understand
use
you went
the
out
table.
with bid, so I didn't want to make a big fuss about this because
Yeah, they did
Obviously,
not.
it needs to get done before the rain hits. So
Yeah,
I was curious about the tile.
we have tarps on buildings right now.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Just a question on the same subject, sorry, I know it's only consent, but what is the language on the contract? If we accepted and entered into the contract, I mean, wasn't the contract binding even the market changes? And I don't know that I don't know if we got to that point or ahead of this time.
We had not signed a contract with him and by the time we got a contract to him, he would have signed a contract with his costs, as high as it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Alarissa,
Aye.
Councilmember Sen,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin,
Weird.
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman. Aye. Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. Item 6, public hearings. Item 6.1, adopt ordinance number 2024-01. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Plymouth amending table 19.04.140-1, approving authority for land use entitlements of the Plymouth Municipal Code. Would we have a staff report, please?
As you know, this item came to the council originally, and the council wanted the planning commission to be in charge of overseeing the decisions for the ABC items that came in. The item went to the planning commission. The planning commission decided that yes, they also wanted to be the decision maker, and they decided to make the change in the municipal code in table 19 under approving authority for land use entitlements in 1904 140-01, and that's the amendment that we're asking for approval. We waived the first reading, and so this is the public hearing on that for approval. If the council approves it, the deputy city clerk will do the necessary posting in the newspaper within 30 days, and we'll get it into the municipal code.
So I'll open the public hearing now. Is there anybody here in the public who'd like to speak at this time? There's nobody here at City Hall. Have we received any written comment on this? I'll close the public hearing now. Staff discussion on this item. Any comments, questions from, I'm sorry, not staff, council? Okay, we're all good. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance amendment to the Plymouth Municipal Code section 19.04.140 in table 1.
I think that was somebody calling to make a second. Is there anybody who'd like to second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Alarissa,
Aye.
Councilmember Sen,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin,
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Doesn't work if there's some kind of favorites.
Item 6.2, adopt ordinance number 2024-02. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Plymouth amending subsection B.2 of section 119.92.050 exempt signs of the Plymouth Municipal Code. Would we please have a staff report?
This item too originated at the city council, only it was during public comment. When DeAugustini Realty came during public comment and the council asked that the item go to the planning commission. The item did go to the planning commission and they heard it on, I think, multiple occasions. And finally, they did make a decision and decided to remove verbiage from the section, and they removed language that said such signs may not be eliminated. And so that would be the ordinance that you're adopting, to remove that sentence from the municipal code. And that is what is included in ordinance 2024-02. And it has a 2024 number because that's when the 30 days will be up. And again, the deputy city clerk will do all the necessary action after. If you approve the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. I'll open the public hearing now. Is there anybody here in the public that would like to comment on this item? Okay, nobody here from the public. Have we received any written comment on this? No, no written comment. Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. And is there any staff, did it again, council discussion, questions on this item? Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion on item 6.2?
I make a motion to adopt ordinance amendment of the municipal code, chapter 19, section 19, .92.050, B2.
Madam Mayor. I just noticed on the bottom of the ordinance, in the very last section, in the foregoing ordinance section, the introduction and date of the council adoption date, those dates are incorrect. So on the previous ordinance and this ordinance, I'll need to correct those dates. It's just a typographical error.
Are you referring to the exhibit that's attached?
No, at the very, it's on the actual ordinance, exhibit 1 on the very last paragraph where it says the foregoing ordinance was introduced at the regular meeting of the city council.
Okay, so with my motion on the floor, with the
It's
correction.
no.
of the city manager.
Thank you. Do we have a second on this?
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. We have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Amoruso.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. So we now have on the regular agenda item, we've moved an item which is now 7.1 to approve the TOT grant in the amount of $15,000 for the Challenge of Champions Rodeo. We have a staff report on that, please.
Of course. The request for the funding for the Challenge of the Champion Rodeo stayed in recently in the timeframe that it was supposed to according to the grant policy. And the event is held at the fairgrounds. It's a very well attended event. I can attest to that from last year when I attended. I attended every day with my family. We had a really good time. It does bring an influx of people into Plymouth. We have people that stay at the fairgrounds. We have people that stay at the 49er. It does bring 9 districts of the high school rodeo association into town to compete at the fairgrounds. They're asking for $15,000. The budget for the rodeo was distributed separately from the original packet, and that was my doing. I forgot to give that to the deputy city clerk, but it was distributed the following day. They do have a high budget. It was above my sign-in authority of 5,000, and so that is why it came to the council.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comment on this item?
I just might add that
Oh,
the gentleman from the rodeo is in
Okay,
attendance tonight, if you have any questions.
okay, thank you.
I think, John Coleman, I'm very familiar with with the rodeo, years they've had it here. It's unbelievable, what they do here and the input that it has here in our community. But also, it's unbelievable that we still have it here. The Craig Williams, who was here in the audience, students speak. It's almost single-handedly kept this thing in there, was at their meetings, regular meetings they had at this event. And 2 years ago, when there was an intent issue to get this familiar issue, they had members of the city council members and the chamber of commerce. They had a group of 10 people that came to the bishop trying to get this going. And then there are also the competition came from the cheaper also. So it is a big deal. And the great thing about it is for the youth. And I just happen to have my hat on for the NIRA, which is the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association. My grandson Michael went all through the process, went through junior rodeo, came up and went through rodeo. It's a great character building for these kids. These kids are in events for the future government, the people who are in the future officials of the community. They're all involved not only in the rodeo. It's really a great thing for kids to be involved with. I'd like to remind the council that TOT tax was originally generated 4 quarters, and it was in order to support increased tourism and things of that sort for the cost of expenses. It's been in most cities now, it's going into the general fund and it's been higher because of funding shortage. But this is in the spirit of the original TOT taxes. And this is a great thing that's needed. And their budget is largely funded by gifts. It would be
City council members, Greg Williams here. I'm the committee chairman of the Challenge of Champions, going on our 26th year. I just want to emphasize the fact that the Challenge of Champions is Plymouth's rodeo. It's become known nationwide. At a point in time, we had it televised about 4 years, but we streamed the event. I don't know how many of you watched the rodeo last night, the National Plymouth Rodeo in Las Vegas. But the winner of the bareback riding, front riding, was Clayton Bigelow. The winner of the steer wrestling was Stan Branco. Second in saddle bronc is Lefty Holman. Weston Minton was fourth in the cat rodeo. They all came through Plymouth. We have over 40 that I know of that have gone to the National Plymouth Rodeo that come through Plymouth. Well, anyway, when I started this back 27 years ago, they discontinued the Junior Grand National on the top prize. And part of that was a high school rodeo that we had for 25 years previous. And the question was, what were we going to do? Were we going to try and keep it going? And I had a board meeting. I recommended Plymouth, California. They didn't know where Plymouth was. Now they certainly do. So I appreciate your help last year. It was a really good rodeo. That's why I'm asking for continued support. But like I said, it's really Plymouth rodeo, Plymouth event. And just so you know, I'll do what I can to keep it going. But maybe if I'm not here one day, I have family members here in the community that are willing to keep it going. So if we can keep it on track with the support we need, it'll stay. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, I'll close this to public comment now. Council discussion? Go ahead, let's move away.
I could go on and on and on.
I think over the years, we've heard how much I feel on support this rodeo. And what I know it does for the youth and everything else, so I think we all know what my head when I talk about this, I'm very supportive of this rodeo. It's very important to our community, I think it's very important to our youth. And not to get off topic, but Jim, you got some stylish socks.
Feeling a little distracted.
Oh, I'm looking at them. Man, those are some nice socks he's got.
It's to have kids.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Amoroso, any comments? Questions?
I would concur with Keith. I mean, I've supported it for years. I think it's really a part of our community. And as John said, and I agree with him, the spirit of, of DOT has was, when it does come up to them, I mean, these kids come in and their families, and they spend almost a full week here. And they go to our restaurants, they go to our grocery stores, our gas stations. I mean, and stay at the 49er, and we do get TOT debts back for them from all those sources. And and back when Jeff was our city manager, I sat down just out of curiosity, trying to figure out what that looked like when a big event came to town and how, if we supported it, what was our return on that, right? And we came back with, it was about a 30% return on the investment, the donation. And I don't think we get that, right? So, I mean, I think it does come back to us, in many other ways. So it's like, give them money now, but we're actually giving money at the end of the day. So I think it's a very positive thing for us. I guess exposes us to a lot of people. Over a great, aggregate. So, all right, that's what I wanted to say.
Councilmember Sim?
Yeah, it's all been said.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I just wish we had more events like this in Plymouth. Because I think it's good for the kids, good for the community, and it's necessary. And it's been around so long. There's a lot of history associated with this particular event. Anyway, sir, thank you for all you've done.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin?
Yeah, I think that this rodeo is obviously a big event, one of the big events for our community every year. It's great to see these kids being able to catapult it off, and I guess proof is in the pudding when you're bringing forth the finalists, the champions at the national finals last night. Just a question for City Manager Margaret. You mentioned that TOT grants over 5,000 obviously come to us. It's over your signature authority. Have we had other applicants? I'm just curious for anything.
No, I have not received any others for this period, which closes on the 31st.
Thank you.
And I don't have any comments that haven't already been made. Thank you for being here. And, but I did fail to ask during public comment, did we receive any written public comment on this? Oops, no, we did not. Okay, thank you. What are the wishes of the council? Would somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the application to the Challenge Champions for the full amount.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Amoroso.
Aye.
Councilmember Sen.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Item 8, council staff communications. 8.1, can we please have a city manager's report?
Yes. I spent the last day and a half in a risk management JPA board meeting in Sacramento. And our JPA is solid. We recently, within the last 2 years, merged with another JPA that was not quite as solid as we were. But the two together are very solid. A lot of actuarials given, a lot of numbers to look at. My head was spinning a little bit, I'll be honest. It was a lot of good information given. I might add that at last night's dinner event, there was a contest about wine tasting, and they had 10 bottles of wine that were covered and numbered, and you had to guess which wine was from which member agency, which was what, 26 agencies. And this morning they announced the winners. There were 3 winners, and Plymouth won 2 of those 3 spots. Just so you know. Plymouth was well represented, and Plymouth was one of the bottles of wine.
Now the question is, which winery? Oh, don't say that.
We may have to have a special meeting, and I do apologize after the publication of the agenda. We got a notice that our SB 165, which is our local agency special tax and bond accountability act report, was ready, and the legislative body needs to receive and file this report by December 31st. So I do apologize. We do have our draft reports of the AB 1600, our 5-year diff report, which is what I just talked about, and one other report. So they'll be coming to you. We will make those available to the public by December 31st, which is a requirement, and then they'll come to the council in January. Wanted to let the council know that I'm not sure if I told you already, but I did speak to the Board of Supervisors regarding animal control. And then I did meet the following week with the CAO, and for now they're putting animal control negotiations on hold, and they're just going to bill us for the services that we use at whatever their cost is. And that is my report.
Thank you. Council members' reports. Councilmember White,
I'm good.
Councilmember Russo,
I'm good.
Councilmember Sim,
I'm good.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
I have just a couple of quick items. We had the first meeting of the Sheriff Ad hoc Committee working to really, I guess, document the history of law enforcement in Plymouth, basically leading up to Plymouth Police Department, when it ended, why it ended, and trying to develop a chronological history. It's a bit of a challenge as there's records don't exist. We are blessed to have Mike Sullivan, who not only worked in this area, but has been intimately involved, has been a huge help in trying to help us, I guess, not recreate our history, but document our history. So I look forward to that hopefully coming together. One other item, just making the council aware is that in November, with conversations with the city manager and mayor, I reached out. This was a time when we were getting bombarded with the facts were irrelevant with a lot of the social media campaigns, and reached out to a professional firm who I had the pleasure of working with for many years to try to get some recommendations of how do we change the narrative? How do we be able to insert facts instead of fiction, but not get into a back and forth tit for tat on Facebook, and trying to develop a higher level strategy. And we talked through a number of things of being proactive as well as reactive in messaging, distribution channels that we have with social media, website, email blasts, newsletters, our water bills that go out, and so forth. And then but the big talk started coming around is really developing what's known as our database, which would be basically our unimpeachable facts, whether it's Brown Act or our budget or TOT or whatever it is, that making our website be that unimpeachable place. Then, as if you will, incorrect information is put out, rather than having to do a tit for tat on Facebook, we can just simply say, hey, please see and put a link right back to our website and not have to get into a back and forth is really, the key to the overall piece. And granted, it's all staff time and ability to do it, but want to bring it back to the council. I don't know if there's interest in moving forward. Obviously it's staff time and priorities, but I just wanted to report on this meeting. Are we doing the agenda items now or are you coming back to that?
Coming back.
Okay, and so that is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. And the only thing I have is to update the council and staff that our position on LAFCO is we're done with that as far as the city representation. And I want to thank Councilmember White for
One meeting that I had to miss because I was at the
but you were willing
yes.
willing to fill in for Councilmember Kleinfelter, so thank you for that. Other than that, I'm sorry. No, it's good. I see you going before me. Other than that, I don't have anything for right now. So item 8.3, council request for future agenda items. Councilmember White.
Good at this time.
Councilmember Amoruso.
I'm good.
Councilmember Sim.
I'm requesting that the Parks and Grant 68 funding be placed on the next regular scheduled city council meeting agenda for reconsideration. The Roberts Rule of Order state the council can have reconsideration twice. This would be the second and final reconsideration. Thank you.
I support that.
I support that as well. Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
It just sounds so weird. I think just to ask, determining the proper format, but having the water element come back. We've had, one meeting on the water piece, and I know we have a grant that's hanging out there, and I just want to continue to be a priority. So I'm not putting a time frame on this. I just want to make sure it stays as one of our top priorities to bring something back so we can stay on top of it. And I know, Margaret, you're working on some stuff at the staff level, but I just want to.
What do you mean water element?
The water, our water rights in the bigger conversation. And then, and I don't know if this isn't necessarily an agenda item piece, but I didn't know where else to bring it up. Is going through, resolutions. I know one that I've become intimately familiar with for the resolution 2020-09 about council members contacting the city attorney in the process, and reading through it. It talks about that basically a written policy must also be in place as a result of this resolution in place with a policy manual. And so I'm assuming we don't have a policy. I know not one that I've ever seen, but I think, like I said, it's not necessarily an agenda item, but obviously this is a piece we need to, need to put some mortar between the bricks on that piece. And so not necessarily, well, I guess eventually have to be an agenda item because we'd have to approve it, but we'll need that policy, I think, to proceed by this resolution. Yeah, that is all. Thank you.
And I don't have any requests for future agenda items at this time. So we will now go into closed session.
Eric, you just.
Item 9.1, public employee performance evaluation for the city manager. 9.2, conference with labor negotiators, the mayor and city attorney, and the employees of the city manager. Item 9.3 is conference with real property negotiators regarding the property at 9451 Main Street. Agency negotiator, city manager Margaret Roberts, the negotiating parties as listed, and under negotiation of price and terms of payment. Is there any public comment on this? Have we received any written public comment?
No, we have not.
Okay. So I'll close this to public comment and we'll go into closed session.
All right, go.
My microphone's not working.
Sorry, just say it louder then.
Okay, we're coming out of closed session. We discussed items 9.1, 9.2, and 9.3. And there's no reportable action. The meeting is now adjourned at 8:43 p.m.